to Miss Martin Muses, and I am back. Yes, I am, Precious. I have returned to the country, and my voice is mostly returned, as you can hear. I did have to go on voice rest. I caught a bad cold, and everyone, you should not keep talking and let alone singing if you have a cold. You must go on voice rest. Otherwise, you will destroy your voice. So, woo! I am back. I'm feeling much better, and it happens to be Memorial Day. So, please, everybody, if you have any Memorial Day things you would like to share, please go ahead and do so. Now, a lot of people forget, oh, wait a second, we have a 3-day weekend. What is it for? Remember when a certain vice president and failed presidential candidate said, enjoy the 3-day weekend, and forgot what it was for? Memorial Day weekend is when we celebrate those that have passed, that have lost their lives in the line of duty. Veterans Day in November, that is when we celebrate the veterans that are still with us, those that survived but served. But this is where we pass those, celebrate those or remember those that have fallen. It's very traditional for people to go to cemeteries and lay wreaths and all of that jazz. All right, hello, we hear you, we hear you. Let me see, what's that? Okay. And thank you very much, Rachel Piercy Art. Thank you for being here in Greek Letters Guy. Yeah, I got to work on my this different mic that I have. It always automatically goes on mute. So I will try to start the stream and then I realize, oh, oops. So here we go. Here we go. So in any case, oh, thank you for being here. And let me know what's all in your minds, too, because this is also can be a little bit of an open musings because we like to do that here at Miss Martin Muses on our musings show. Within reason, of course, I will always have veto power because, that's just the way it is. Good morning, Nordporeal Life Form. How are you doing? Are you recovered from your Japan trip? I am almost recovered from my trip to Alaska. I caught a very, very, very bad cold, a nasty cold. Technically, it probably was the flu, but it is what it is. Ender season 2, I'm really liking now. Yeah, I've heard, objectively speaking, it is good, but on the other hand, it'll always be wrong because it's using the Disney Star Wars timeline and contradicts a lot of stuff in the original timeline. I don't know. It shows that there are people out there that do know how to write, and obviously people that know how to act, but, well, what can I say? Okay, I've already said Greek Letters Guy. Why don't you go ahead and Google what Memorial Day is? All right. So in any case, what do we have? We have, I know a lot of people are talking about it. And, more power to you if you are enjoying content. Now, I think that season 2 of Andor is the last one. So go ahead and please go ahead and enjoy. I mean, what can I say? But, hey, we have some really, really good news about the Wheel of Time being canceled, the Wheels of Prime. And part of the reason why it's a good thing is that they're going to see, okay, this doesn't work. Because often when sometimes a lot of weird wokey stuff happens and awful entertainment, I'm thinking Marvel off the top of my head, people still watch it, though, and it still does commercially successful, so they keep doing it. But if they learn that, hey, if we keep doing this, we're going to bomb and bomb badly, then that's something that they can, for sure, pay attention to. I think that this doesn't bode well for the Wheels of Prime, except for the Rings of Prime, except for the fact that the show needs, they have a preset thing of seasons. I mean, it's just such a mess. They had been printing money by this point if they'd have just followed the story and done it properly. But, I guess that's too much to ask. It is too much to ask. But, the only part that I feel badly about are the obligations that some of these companies do have. And they are obligations. I will argue this till the cows come home. They have employers. They have people that, caterers. They have a lot of people that are depending on behind the scenes these things for their paychecks. So when they sit around and goof around like this and create horrible, horrible content that flops they're not just hurting themselves, they're hurting others. And if they say, ha ha ha, let's do this to own the fans, which is also ridiculous. Like, why would you want to own the fans? Okay, fine. Congratulations, you've owned the fans. But are you owning the fans? Are you really not owning yourself? You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your industry. Do you want to survive? Maybe they don't want to survive. Maybe they just want to burn it all down. Rings of stupidness. I tweeted my happiness over its cancellation to get some salt from people. Yeah, I mean it is I kind of divorced the Star Wars brand from it. Well, there we go. Yeah, I mean that's one way to do it. Yeah, where you can enjoy it. Yeah, that is true, Rachel Percy Art. Memorial Day is a national holiday of remembrance for those killed in military service, but Americans just enjoy having an extra day off. Yeah, well, that's nothing wrong with extra nothing wrong with an extra celebration. Yeah, and many people don't know the reason for it. Well, the same way, the whole reason for the season thing. But it is a thing. It is a thing, and I always like to remember, of course, recent ones. Many have known people that have lost their lives in the recent wars and in active duty, but even the ones going way back, in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, War of 1812, it's all of them. I always like to remember the 54th Massachusetts and their bravery. Movie Glory is so good, so good, so good. And I think that maybe people need to remember how many people were proud to fly the American flag and die for it. So yes. So Americans are just enjoying an extra day. Yeah. Well, and for many, it's the beginning of the summer for them where school is out. So woo, yay, everyone gets excited about that. I don't know the history behind it. Maybe I should look that up about that how that got started. Yeah, I know we had a bit of a controversy because I think somebody tweeted something without thinking as usual and tried to say, I'm going to change all the holidays up for this. And I think the military were kind of like, dude. And I think that it was stepped back. I think that we're going to keep our holidays as they are. Let me see. Memorial Day. I'm looking up Memorial Day meaning. Some countries have something very similar and they call it Remembrance Day, which also same idea. Let's see, Memorial Day. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And I think it's always like the last Monday of the season of the month of May. Yeah. Oh, it was originally known as Decoration Day. Yes, a federal holiday for honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. It is observed on the last Monday of May, and it's considered the unofficial beginning of summer. Yeah. Oh, this is true that volunteers will place American flags on the graves of those also. So, you'll just see if you go to like Arlington National Cemetery or other national cemeteries, you will be seeing those. My neighborhood gets decorated with flags. It's all pretty beautiful. The first national observance of Memorial Day occurred on May 30th, 1890, then known as Decoration Day and observed on May 30th. The holiday was proclaimed by Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic to honor the Union soldiers who had died in the American Civil War. The national observance followed many local observances which were inaugurated between the end of the Civil War and Logan's declaration. Many cities and people have claimed to be the first to observe it. However, the National Cemetery Administration credits Mary Ann Williams with originating the idea of strewing the graves of Civil War soldiers, Union and Confederate, with flowers. So 1890. And it became the last Monday in May and standardized as Memorial Day in 1971. So there you go. At least one person, Rachel Percy-Art says, in my family has fought in every war the U.S. has participated in except the last one. No one in my generation joined. Wow. Millennial. Yeah, I'm a millennial. Oh boy. Stephen Ransom is here. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Corporeal life form. Me too. No one in my family since World War II that I know of served. I have a small family though. Yeah. Vietnam, I think, was the last one where loads of people had family members because that was the last time we had the draft. Stephen Ransom says Japan does this with all ancestors. Honoring the dead respects the time they gave to prop up our future. God bless them all. Yes, indeed. Well, religiously, we have All Souls Day, and the whole month of November is for All Souls. All Saints is November 1st. Yeah, it's very beautiful. You need to remember those that have gone on behind you and learn from them. Learn from them. It's good. We need to honor those that have gone on before us, not crap on them. Yeah. So many beautiful, beautiful things. So yeah, this might be a good time to say that I have started a new channel where all my Catholic content will be moving over there. So if you are interested, I do have a Catholic explaining channel now. Yeah, never understood those classifications. I have no idea how that started. I think the classifications really began with the baby boomers because that was a thing. And then ever since then, they feel like, oh, we've got to go ahead and define them. It's like, whatever. I refuse to be defined because, frankly, I think the whole planet's a boomer right now. Now, Generation Alpha, I completely get. Because you do not even need to guess with Generation Alpha. It's all there for everyone to see and to do. So if you are going to be spending some time with some loved ones today or with their remembering them, please go ahead and let me know if there's anyone that you would like to remember in your family. Now, my grandfather fought in World War II. He didn't die in action, though, so I guess he wouldn't count for Memorial Day, but definitely, kind of remember him, though usually it's Veterans Day that we remember them. Yeah. So in any case, so today is Memorial Day, and for everyone else, I guess it's just a normal day. Yesterday was last day Premier League, and Nottingham Forest managed to F it up. All they had to do was score one goal, and they couldn't even manage that. So they are not in any of the big leagues. They were a shoo-in for it, and they messed it up. So I will be very interested to see what happens with their manager. Are they going to keep them? Because on the other hand, the manager also got them up that high. Who knows? Stephen Ransom gives us some help here. The classifications are a product of the postmodernists and their compulsions to dehumanize everyone. You know what? I think that there is a lot to be said about that. Absolutely, and certainty. Yeah, this whole collectivism stuff it was a bad idea. I think that's probably why we're kind of falling apart a little bit. It's like, is our identity right now? I mean, we don't really have one. I don't know. This is a very weird time to be alive. The 20s suck. I hope that 2030s are going to be better, but who knows? By then we'll have the AI apocalypse. So who knows what the hell we're going to be doing? Yeah, I'm very cynical right now, so I'm not the person to talk about the future, the human part of the future. See, Rachel Percy-Art says, of course, Nottingham Forest tripped over their own feet at the finish line. Yes, yes. They just couldn't resist. Could not resist. My goodness. Well, an Arsenal, they couldn't catch Liverpool, but we knew that Liverpool was going to win. I mean, what was it? As many as 5 matches ago, Liverpool had it. Yeah, so making not a lot of people happy, though there was some small portion of me that's like, finally, it's not Man City for once, but still. Man United did not have a very good season at all, did they? And it's a dang it outlaw. Hello, thank you for being here. Happy Memorial Day. How are you out in your Adega world? I'm one of these days gonna finish the Wheel of Time. I'm behind. I'm probably not gonna get it finished this year unless I really, really push ahead. Between life happening again and I was just so sick. I was sick as a dog. And when you're sick, you do not feel like reading. I mean, I listened to some books on tape, but I don't want to have my first reading for the Wheel of Time be listening to it on Audible. I maybe for my second reading, but definitely not my first. So I'm getting there. I've been reading a few chapters now that I'm feeling better. Everyone's saying, "What's up?" Greek letters guy is wanting the asteroid to come. Yeah, everyone's saying hello to each other. Rachel Percy Art says Man United has overspent on players that just cannot be a team again. Yeah, got a bunch of individuals. Liverpool winning wasn't a surprise, but at least they play well together. You gotta hand it to him. Gotta hand it to him. Nerdpoil Lifeform says, I'm stuck in the slog, Teresa. Path of Daggers is considered one of the not so great ones. Yeah, that can be a bit tricky. Well, I'm finding this one that I'm still on right now is a little bit difficult. Though some really cool things have happened. Don't get me wrong. But there's nothing that's been making me turn the pages. And I read a chapter this morning. I'll read another chapter, but there's some of those other books where you sit and you just read like 100, 200 pages a day. Yeah. So in any case, oh yeah, they're talking about Japan. And if you want to see more about the Japan trip, I know that Norpoil has been putting some stuff up. He put some stuff up on his X. Oh my gosh. And of course, my trip was so amazing. I got to see so many cool animals and I got to see bald eagles. I saw humpback whale. I saw otters, sea lions out in the wild, glaciers, just absolutely gorgeous. There was a sighting of a bear, but I couldn't see it. And sometimes the unfortunate part is when you are on a cruise, by the time everyone spots it and everyone tries to look, it's already passed by. Fires of Heaven disappointed me, said Lorproya Lifeform. I have lowered my expectations considerably. Well, we'll see. Keep traveling the world. Travel the world. Yes, everyone should travel. Screw the world and travel. Now, some people might be like, oh, but I can't afford to do X. Well, if you can't, well, then do local. Go local. There's things probably in your own area you haven't seen. Or do day trips if you can. If you can on your day off. The more that you see and learn more about your area, your history, nature, you really do start to appreciate some things and get out of this mind slop that is the Twittersphere, that is the internet. Because, every day I see more and more evidence about that it's all just the matrix, that so many things that we see, they are designed to elicit certain reactions. They are not actually giving us good information. The internet X and all that is quickly becoming like what the mainstream media was, where you don't really want to go there regularly, but you want to go there when there's breaking news. It's still the best for breaking news. But now that we know that people and influencers are being paid to say certain narratives and say certain things, and that certain things are to get certain reactions, that it's artificial, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then you realize, oh, that's why I'm agitated all the time. The purpose is to make people upset and to click. The purpose is not to inform. And so get out and maybe just see your area, support your local community if you can. Rachel Perciart says, I can travel to my mailbox and back. Oh, I missed humpback whale. Where did you encounter curtain star 2? No, I did not. Well, the humpback whale is doing very, very well. They are no longer considered endangered. I traveled downtown on Saturday. Well, there you are. Nobody Left From says, after my Japan trip, I enjoy walking the city. Osaka is huge compared to Chicago. Oh, I'll bet. So much beauty. Oh, yeah. Well, and they look after their cities. Well, that's another discussion for another day. For the reasons why. But one of these days, I plan to go to Japan, though I most likely will not do it the way you did it at North Korea. I probably will not be flying over there. There are some cruises, and I think that that's probably the best way for me to do so, to see the area, to do some day trips. I don't know anyone over there. I would have no idea how to navigate. My aunt and uncle did something like that, and they really did truly enjoy it. So one of these days. Stephen Ransom says, indeed, I've stepped away from pop culture discussions. The world has become much more interesting. Time to adjust reality, adds real traction. Darn right. Yeah, because it's fake. It's artificial. It's artificial. Even stuff in the news, even things. When I learned that, oh, I'm just saying this just to jerk people's change to get a reaction. It's like, wow. About like world events. That's hilarious. No, I just can't deal. Can't deal. The subway in Japan doesn't smell like pee and have shops and restaurants. Yeah. Well, and I think we can see why. We all know why. They have a culture over there that doesn't put up with that. People will do what people tolerate. I mean, it's just very simple. Like if you know you're going to get arrested for doing something or go to jail for goodness knows how many years, then maybe people aren't going to be messing around. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's just silly. No, that is fake news, Greek letters guy. You cannot get to USA through a special portal or something. I am no longer interested, in the pro from parts. I am no longer interested in culture war stuff either. Wheel of Prime is exception because my friend's there. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm not interested either. For one thing, it's an unwinnable war. And second of all, when you realize that it's not a goal. And most of the people don't even believe in it. They are being paid. When you realize how many corporations are behind some of these so-called independent creators, it's really eye-opening. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. We don't have news. We have shock jockeys and fire stokers. Darn right, Stephen Ransom. Well, and the thing is that X used to give the illusion that, well, no, these are just people saying these things. And then we learned that the corporations got to them. That's a valid story to get your facts checked. Okay, German tourists were deported to Japan. Okay. Oh, I thought you said they went through a portal. My fault. I read incorrectly. Though if there is a portal, yeah, I'd be all for it. I want to have those kind of ways to easily travel. Why were they sent to Japan? That's interesting. Oh well. I must have missed that story. It's a strange world out there. Yeah. Well, I guess I could throw out an example. Suddenly, like a movie that you just kind of think kind of sucks, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, the best movie ever," and that's all everyone's doing. And then there's a movie you think's kind of good, and people are just like, "Nah," or they're just even pretending it doesn't exist. It's like, well, what's going on here? You learn that the movies that suddenly everyone thinks is the best thing ever, and everyone needs to go see it, and they're watching it with those happy faces on their little thumbnails. They're being sponsored. That's why when there's really good content out there, you're like, why isn't anyone covering that? But when they're covering this, they're being paid. And nothing wrong with that, because I would probably do it. It's like, oh, I'll pay you this much money if you'll, go say good things about this movie. Maybe I would. But just be aware of that. And I always tell people, just if you're feeling badly, it'll make you feel better. But don't consume it. And just realize that the same forces that is behind the mainstream media are behind your influencers. Let's see. My connection dropped. Fun. Oh, okay. Well, glad you're back. Oh, okay. And access loophole. Salty Traveling Sea says YouTube was an unhealthy diversion when they immorally locked us all down for nothing. They want us not living, seeing, doing the physical world and obsessing over views, fake clout. Yeah. Well, yes and no. So I completely agree with you. However, I don't think if I didn't have things like YouTube during it, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, it really did keep me sane. But you're right. We can see now how manipulative some of it was. And many people did make bank, and more power to them to a certain degree. But the more and more you see them showing up on MSM, it's like, okay. And you follow the money. And sometimes I'll be like, where the hell did this person come from? And then you find out that they're with this certain company. It's just something to be aware of. Yes, Triple M, the revelation of USAID was a real mind blower. That, yeah. Well, about how much money we actually paid. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, yeah. Hello, Salty Traveling. See, I'm like, who's Corey? I was like, oh, Salty Traveling. I'm an idiot. I understand that just because I'm almost healthy doesn't mean I'm completely healthy. I still have a little bit of my cold. Lockdown was an accidental promotion for online media. Yeah. Well, we saw how they used it for propaganda. I remember being freaked out. Like, I wasn't freaked out necessarily by the things that were happening, though it was really crazy. I only really started to freak out when I started seeing the censorship. That was wild. Where they were saying you can't say what you're seeing before your very eyes. That was what was scary. Very, very scary. Let's see. Salty Traveling Sea says, that was then. With hindsight, I saw way too much ugliness and true colors in back rooms. You're different, Teresa. Oh, well, thank you. I saw. Oh, well, yeah, back rooms. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yes. I always tell people, stay the hell away from group chats. Yeah. Oh, they're ugly. They're backstabbing. They strategize. They orchestrate what we call fake fights. That's why I always say, stay away from a fight. If you see a fight online, you stay out of it because they're faking it. They do it strategically, and they will not thank you if you say something like if you side with the other person. Yeah, there's a lot of ugliness. Yes. Teresa probably forgot my name too. Actually, I think now that you mention it, I don't know. And that's probably a good thing. Though I understand that you all don't mind having your first names being known, but yeah, I know a lot of people that still always use Teresa with me because they don't want to slip up. I recently watched a YouTube reaction to Close Encounters, Stephen Ransom says, and they saw a coof in the secret plan to cover up the alien visit in the film. Yeah, didn't they do that? They did. I adore the internet. Every moron can present himself as an expert who knows what he's talking about. Well, that is true. Brian. Okay, Brian. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ugliness. Money will do things to people, or the hope of money. See, that's what's even wild. The hope of money. But no, I know that they would say, invite this person, don't invite person, don't talk to that person. It's like, no, we need this, that, and the whole, is it pyramid? No, probably pyramid scheme's not the right term for it, but where you suck up to people that are slightly higher above you in subs. And then once you pass them, then you dump that person and then you suddenly start going for people like up to 1,000 subs. Then once you pass them up to 2,000 and you see it and I've been watching other channels do it. Like just suddenly you won't see the old people on that used to be on. How I experienced it was like, oh my gosh, I need you on my channel. Oh my gosh, you're so brilliant. You're so this. And then once they passed me in subs, suddenly I was ghosted. And it's like, huh? Oh, okay. Or suddenly, or the panel is full. It's like, well, did I go from being stupid or brilliant to being stupid, or did you just pass me in subs? It's a thing. Names are so last century. Yeah. Neuropoint Lifeform says I try to steer clear of shit starters. Yeah. And you can see it now. And I know a lot of people don't have any patience for it, but since so many of them ones that used a lot of these tactics, they're now in the mainstream. They don't need us anymore. So yes, money. It takes a lot lot of takers in my family. I didn't turn out that way, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand, who doesn't love money? Who doesn't love money? Yeah, but only do things if you enjoy it. And if you happen to blow up, and some people do, some people have genuinely blown up without any of these games and things. And it's like, well, that's great. That's great. And if you're enjoying it, but man, there's a lot of ugliness. Who did I find out? I found out a whole bunch of these female influencers had corporate backing. And then I'm like, how stupid was I? It's like you think that they automatically, magically got these studios and these great cuts and great editing and all their content and stuff, did it all by themselves because they were bored. Yeah, so I feel a little bit stupid that I didn't see that, oh, they are actually being employed by these companies. And it's not immoral. There's nothing wrong with it. But this whole, it's you doing it, YouTube. No. See, there's a King's Court scenario you're seeing MSM or Triple M, MSM, kissing up and punching down. Yeah. The algorithm is rigged. The game is set up. Yeah. Or they use the strategy of attacking people, says Rachel Perciart, with slightly higher sub counts and spreading rumors about them to ruin their reputation. That too. I've learned a lot about how female YouTubers are getting a leg up if they are pretty little things. Well, yes. And not just, well, we all know the stories. We all know it. It's not even a story anymore. And it works, so okay. The easier to pass through an eye of a needle. That's terrible, Rachel. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, they do favors. Let's just put it to you that way. Yeah, it's not a secret, though. It never has been. But people pretend to look the other way. They're very genuine. I'm glad I'm a small channel. Yeah, laugh out loud, a leg up. Well, that's what I was about ready to say. Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. And again, as long as you know that, I think it's okay. But I've seen people like get depressed and people get obsessed. It's not unlike, I was watching Call of the Wild, the one with Harrison Ford. It was being shown on the ship. And the way people went batshit crazy over the hope they might find gold. And statistically, the amount of people that actually found gold and actually got rich off of it, it was like a handful. And thousands went up there and died. I mean, it was insane. And, oh, this The movie tamed down a lot of stuff in the book, but it was still so hard to watch. The way they treated those animals, those dogs, and those horses, they had like a memorial for all the horses that were just abused and froze to death. And for what? So it's very similar. It's like the modern day gold rush. But here's the thing. Do it because you enjoy it. I mean, of course, I do it for money. I do it for the extra money, and I'm very happy to do so. Like, I was very happy when I got monetized. Don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, I I do it because like it. And you know what? I have 22 subs on my new Catholic explaining channel. It's like I will still do what I do for those 22 subs because that's what I like. That's what I like. Um. Oh, stuff that goes on. I'm not going to Google anything. I learned the hard way. Never, ever, 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 ever do so because you know you'll start to get some weird things showing up on your on your algorithm on your Google or whatever the hell that is. Yeah. Best to be yourself and talk about what you enjoy, do what you enjoy, and I'm not even necessarily knocking the whole situation. I'm just saying, don't feel bad about it, people. And maybe don't be resentful and just be aware. And be aware that the information you're getting has a bias to it, that people are being paid to say what they want to say, and that there are paid political influencers as well, even on quote unquote our side, especially on our side. I got red pilled on that with that whole binder gate debacle. I'm glad it happened because it opened my eyes, but I just realized how much people within the administration are trying to manipulate us. And I'm still trying to figure out how that was a win. I think that the Bondi, that's what I'm thinking about. I think that she is not as intelligent as she comes off. And it was a debacle. But it gave me a glimpse behind the matrix and some of that stuff, which is probably good. Mother Nature is as cruel, says Stephen Ransom. What is the real difference between a flood rushing animals to their doom and the gold rush pushing humanity and its livestock to a doom? True, true. Mother Nature can be cruel. However, let's not help her. And the fact that people were doing it, like those horses, etc., had no business being out there. Like if you're minding your own business being a horse, you are not supposed to be trying to go through some little pass thing in deep snow in the mountains in these awful things. Like where we passed on the train, the fact that those assholes try to get horses to go through there, and what they would do is they'd go, oh, oops, the horses can't do this. Like, really? And they would abandon them. Oh, I can't even talk about it. It's so awful. But you are correct. You are correct. Rachel Percier says, I enjoy being on panels. Yes, I love being on panels too sometimes. I told my partner, if I ever start being one of those girls who just sits there checking their nails while the men talk, he needs to pull me away from the internet. Yeah. Well, and also, pull away from the internet. I mean, maybe go back to what made the internet great before. Go to those meetups. For example, you will see, what's that? I think it's called Meetup, actually, the app, where it's like, hey, we're all gonna go to the movie or a sewing thing or knitting, stitch and bitch, different groups, like where you meet up in person. I think that we really just need to do that. You need to get unplugged from the matrix. Let's see. Oh, I already said that. Greek letter guy, let's face it, if you want to make money from social media, you need a sponsor. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. And they do. I'm just throwing it out there that you see these people suddenly just pop up out of nowhere, and next you know, they've got, thousands of subs out of nowhere. You've never even heard of them. They're being propped up. Okay. And we have seen some organic situations. And that's been a good thing. But at this point, yeah, they do have sponsors. I'm talking, you know, the ones I'm talking about. I don't want to talk necessarily call people out, but just you even see the same direction that's done. All right. I found out how many of these female YouTube channels were actually being run by the Daily Wire. I'll just say that. That's one. And the Blaze. We all know of a certain situation that was not organic, that it was the Blaze behind a lot of it. You got to sell something, otherwise you ain't getting money from the internet. That's right. Well, we did see some organic stuff. We did see, like Geeks and Gamers. I mean, it was for the longest time was what, 800 subs and stuff. And yes, it did grow in popularity and, of course, blew up during the pandemic. Now it's a corporation, but yes. Rachel, mad respect to you for realizing the possibility. Anyways, Memorial Day, LOL. Well, yes. Well, that's why these are musings, ADHD things. We talk about what we like to, um, unless I veto it. But certainly, yes, we do want to honor our veterans, and we want to honor rather our those who have died in the line of duty. And I mean, in our wars, like World War II, for example, it wasn't just us, even though, of course, I honor the American ones, but my grandfather and all them, they worked side by side in the fields with the British. Yeah, on D-Day we had Omaha Beach, but right next to us were the British ones, the Canadian ones, and they were all bands of brothers working together. And it's a very beautiful thing. We just recently had the 80th anniversary of D-Day, or rather, it's coming up. Is it the 80th of D-Day, or did we? No, we've already had that. It was 80th victory in Europe. And I was really genuinely moved by the celebrations in London of VE Day and the few remaining veterans that are alive and how people were just treating them like kings. I mean, and it was just very beautiful. And what the British people went through, they lost, what, 50, 60,000 civilians during the Battle of Britain. And we didn't have something like that. I mean, we obviously had issues, but they really stood strong when the rest of Europe faltered. Now, I know that there were reasons. Sometimes it's as simple as geography, but that's something to be admired. It's not something to be mocked. Hello, humans and other critters. Yeah, we have the heroes of Telemark. I digress. LOL. No. I mean, that's what I said, that we could. It's open musings, and that I will, as always, veto it if that's what we're gonna do. We're my furry right friend. Hello. Yeah, I saw some of your cousins up there. I saw some icebergs as well. I waved at you. Gap After Dark. Hello, everyone. We love our animals here at Miss Martin Muses. Well, if you want to go to numbers, lost more than 20 millions. Oh yeah, I'm not necessarily talking. I didn't want to do a tit for tat. That's why I was being careful. But sometimes somebody said, well, no one matched what Americans did, and it's like, yeah. I'm that just the fact that that many people were killed in the war, that in Russia, that doesn't necessarily negate the bravery of the British people. I'm just saying everyone was brave and all that. And there was a horrible loss of civilian life, and many people stood firm and fought the good fight, and that we need to honor them as well. My cousins are cool, literally. Yeah, hell yeah, they all got me sick because it was so cold. Well, technically we all know it's not the cold that makes you sick, it's people with viruses. Whoever had that virus on the ship, I am very, very mad at you. You made me sick. Yeah, good times. Got to see up there, see some glaciers. I was talking about going through the pass up there, the white, I forget what the hell it was called. The amount of people that died with the hope of getting rich was just insane. But yeah, that Call of the Wild movie, it was good. They changed some things, and once you see the one with Harrison Ford, you'll know why they changed what they changed. But man, it still was pretty devastating. I don't know, maybe I need to watch the White Fang one. I think that's where it goes backwards, where Call the Wild was about a cute little spoiled dog who ended up becoming a wild dog, and then I think White Fang was the opposite. Well, look who it is, all the way from the future and also in a cold place. Yeah, we were sharing a latitude, Steve. It was amazing. Hello, Teresa. I do hope you are perfectly splendid. I would have you know, I suffered through a damn air fryer commercial to get to the actual stream. Oh, yay. Well, that makes me happy. I love air fryers. I have an air fryer. I got one for my birthday 2 years ago. It's red. Okay. Let's see. Oh gosh, Stieg is the call girl of the wild. Okay, everyone's saying hello, hello. What, the British people surrendered in Shanghai? Or is that weird? Or the Russians? See, that's what I'm trying to say. Listen, we don't know what we would do, all right? But I'm just saying that there were many, many brave people in World War II. Is that an air fryer or an airborne trained monk? Isn't an air fryer an airborne trained monk? Oh, got it. Oh, yeah, I don't think the Battle of Britain was fought in Shanghai. Oh dear, I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna move. An air fryer, would that also be a hot air generator? Ta-da. Oh boy, 7 out of 10 for the pun. Oh my gosh, I'm a bad bear. Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's good to know. Air fryers, nothing beats an air fryer for the advertisements. Rather, did I say an advertisement? This is what happens when you got a cold, and I'm just having word associations here. Nothing beats an air fryer when it comes to reheating food. You can reheat just about anything in an air fryer. And hell, I actually went to the butcher and got a filet mignon and was able to cook it in my air fryer. It tasted so good. Seek says, that is why The Undertaker died. He couldn't stop coughing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everyone's laughing. Everyone's a comedian. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I think, were you here there at Steve was mentioning the Heroes of Telemark? There's a movie called that. One of these days I'm going to watch it. I'm going to cover that. And many, many people to remember. When you look at the American Civil War alone, was it 600,000? And that was back with the populations that they had back then died. Now, of course, part of the reason why the numbers were so high is they were self-inflicted, because it was we were the enemy and we were the defenders, depending on which side you sided with. Either way, the numbers are the way that they are. But the amount of lives also that get ruined, the veterans that survive. Back then, if you got injured, pretty much it was an arm or a leg, you got amputated. And it was when we first started seeing things like morphine addiction after the American Civil War. Oh boy. Snorter Poopus Cooper says, why didn't the Undertaker get paid? His customers kept stiffing him. Potato Revan says, I have had family in the U.S. Army since the War of Independence. Yay! Yeah, because the Irish cousins, the American cousins. It was a thing when I was in Ireland. Everyone had a cousin in America. I'll never forget it. And then one day I was teaching, and it was St. Patrick's Day. My little second graders were like, oh, miss, I have a cousin in Ireland. And I went, oh my gosh, you're the American cousin. Everyone has an American cousin, and then in America, everyone has Irish cousins. Stephen Ransom says, the warmers at Starbucks are amazing. I think those are air fryers. Perhaps they're convection ovens. Oh. Steek says, Teresa got a cold for Red Dead Redemption 2 Immersion. Yeah, so I got sick first. Oh my gosh, it was awful because when I got back and I'm sitting here dying, and the only thing I can do is play Red Dead Redemption 2. And it was right at the point that I resumed when he started really getting his TB symptoms. He's coughing and I'm coughing. I'm like, stop coughing. You're making me feel bad. Because it was like, I really was immersion. I didn't do it on purpose, though. It was my roommate. She always gets it. She even tested herself and she had like the flu part A or something like that. Yes. Oh gosh, Red Dead Redemption. I'm going to be doing a separate stream sometime about Red Dead Redemption, but I want to completely finish it before I do so because I don't want to actually get spoiled. But I did get to the end of the story. Spoiler alert! I think everyone knows that, where Arthur Morgan dies, and oh man, I was a meme. I was a meme. I was crying just like everyone does. All those cam girls, and I'm like, it's sad. Let's see. Seek says, Undertaker never watches Fox or CNN. He only likes grave news. DJ Ronnie, thank you. Hello. Hello, Reverend. May the force be with you. Yes. Everyone's saying hello. Potato Room says, LOL, that back then they were Hessian. My family tree is weird, LOL. Well, the Irish, they got around. Did you clear Red Dead 2? I'm right now in the part with John. I'm in epilogue part 2. Yeah, Steve, I couldn't stop playing last night. It was ridiculous. When I was telling you, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to fire it up for a little bit. 4 hours later. And I finally just had to go to bed because I'm like, this is ridiculous because I'm still not completely well. Is there a flu part Z? I don't know. My friend is she's a serologist? She's someone that works with blood, and she's someone that works with other lab stuff. She works with blood, bacteria, and viruses, whatever that's called. And so her team got super curious. It's like, well, what strain do you have? Because it wasn't COVID or anything. So that's what she told me. I'm trusting her. Because they're nerds. Yeah, so she's also great if you have any STD questions. Not that that has ever in my life been an issue, but man, you get worried when you hear the kind of stuff that's going around. The old-fashioned STDs. Greetings. Oh, I got to revisit that game. I'm in the snow portion of the game, and I think it looks very nice. Yes. Steek says, still got the epilogues to do, though. Oh, there's epilogues? Yes, I'm on epilogue 2. Yeah, or maybe I'm behind. You could save your horse next play through before you put your before you go put your horse in the stable. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what. I've already killed my new horse. I had to get a new horse. Rachel, the one that John had, well, she died in a stakeout thing where we all got attacked or something, and I didn't even know. I guess she got shot, so I couldn't revive her. Oh, I got a cough. Got to mute. So I got a new horse, and his name is Leonidas. Miss Martin Memes sounds like another channel name. Oh my gosh. I've already got 2 channels now. I'll see if I can handle that. Snorty Poop is in the house. Ice formation and greetings. The seal snack is for Snorty. Yay! Hey, I saw a seal. I'll tell you, Snorty, your little snacks were hanging around because I was in Stevenston, and they had boats that were selling fish right off the boats. Oh my gosh. And I guess those sea lions, rather not seals, sea lions, knew what was up because they were swimming around like hoping. Snorty Poop Squibber says, you think about owning a funeral home that its customer... the thing about owning a funeral home is that its customers are dying to give you business. Yes, they are. Happy if that's at World Memorial Day to my American friends. Well, thank you. Yes, and I love my British friends. I'm over all of that stuff from 1776. Yeah, y'all are great. I was mentioning how much I enjoyed the VE celebrations. I thought that those were quite epic. But yes, thank you. And yes, let's all remember those who have fallen so that we can be free and apparently abuse it. Though I don't know, we're getting some free speech back. I mean, when you really think about it, during those coof years, that was pretty scary times. I think that because of the way the direction America has gone, that certain forces that be are putting their energy in other countries. I just was looking at some news in England that was really kind of sad, about that one lady that lost her appeal. She's going to be 3 years in prison over a tweet she made and deleted. And when you read the original tweet, it's like, it wasn't even that bad. Yeah. That was a strange comment to come in on. Oh, dear. Yes. The best businesses are restaurants and funeral services. The people have to eat, and eventually they kick the bucket. You can't go wrong with that. That's right, Snuffles. Which games are you playing? A game are you playing? Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes. Oh my gosh. Fish and seal, great holiday food. Well, eventually, I'm bringing back Teresa Travels Tuesday, so I'm planning to stream tomorrow, God willing. And the reason I say that is I don't know what's necessarily going to be happening because I will be working tomorrow. And I have a mandatory meeting. Oh, those are so annoying. A mandatory meeting that is something that I have attended 300 million thousand times, but they make you do it every year. I mean, it's okay. I'm just going to sit there and nod and smile, but it's annoying. So I'm hoping to get some streaming in tomorrow, but it may not be at usual time. So it's really hard for me to have a regular time. Especially, I will be traveling again soon. I will be traveling soon in a few weeks. I have tickets to a show, though, so I got to wait till after the show before I go. I legit have a baseball park named after my granddad's cousin, Trumfield in Somerville. Wow, well done. The Irish rule. I almost ended up going back, Revan. I'm still figuring it out, though it'd be in Cork, because Cork rules. But with the whole election of the new pope and stuff, I want to take the pulse a little bit. There is a liturgy conference that I usually would go to every year in July over in Ireland. But I'm not entirely sure my pocketbook can sustain that because of the cruise I just went on. But I'm going to get to Ireland soon. I will be. Because there's a course I want to take. I won't say where there, it's an immersion course with the Irish language, and they also give Irish harp lessons, and I want to refine my Irish harp skills. So one of these days I'm going to get up there. But I don't know if the conference is actually going to be happening this year. So we'll see. Free speech, I'm sure I've heard of that somewhere. Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. I really want to travel back to Ireland. The family wants to as well. I would love to go back with the family because my sister can actually drive over there. I can't drive over there. I have to hire drivers when I'm there or take the bus and all that. And I usually just take the bus because hiring drivers is really expensive. But it's better than dying or doing what Matthew freaking Broderick did. And if you don't feel comfortable driving in Ireland, okay, this is my tip for the day. If you're not comfortable driving overseas, don't drive, especially in Ireland where you have to be on the left side of the road and everything's backwards and it's manual. Okay, just don't. You don't want to kill somebody. It's awful. And yet the guy who literally made throat signals still hasn't gone to trial. Darn right. Yeah, everyone else. Yeah, he said literally go out and murder people. But I guess that's okay. If you play Sea of Thieves, let me know. I will. Glad I could accommodate. 3 years in jail for a tweet. Sweet. Talk about freedom of speech. Yeah. Or lack thereof. Mandatory sounds toxic to me. Oh dear. Cork is a mess. I've been hearing that. Well, see, Cork was always a little bit of a dump, though. It was my dump. I've been seeing what's been going on around St. Patrick Street. But you see, here's part of the issue. They turned the Savoy there in St. Patrick Street into a certain kind of center. So you will then have the unrest that will come with that. I'm going to go out, though, to the Whale Talk. That's probably where I will end up. Like I told you, I want to take that Irish harp course. I'd fear for your safety. Oh, well, thank you. Well, it's just sad that the idea that can I really go up and down St. Patrick Street the way I even could like 5 years ago, the last time I was there. I don't know. And I would always go to mass there at St. Peter and Paul because they have it in Irish. So I always like to go in Irish. Smart Poopus Cooper says some of these U.S. judges scare me. They'd love to ban our freedom of speech. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. It's pretty creepy. Well, not just freedom of speech, of course, freedom of religion. That just worries the fuck out of me. I I don't know. I don't know what's going to be going on. I really don't. Most popular name in Galway right now is Muhammad. Yeah. The harp, I would say Teresa O'Hara, but I don't know if anyone will get the reference. Yeah, Scarlett O'Hara. Gardaí are traitors. They protect them, not us. Sorry to get political. No, it's open musings unless I shut it down. And usually the only thing I shut down is if people start going after people by name and if who are not public figures. Because I always say people, if they're in our circles, they need to be here to defend themselves. And yeah, that's just only fair play to me. The harp, yeah, Scarlett O'Hara. She's a great character. She's probably one of the greatest all-female characters of all time, even though she was a horrible person. You can be a horrible person and be a great character. Yeah, I've seen what the Gardaí are up to over there. But I also, know people keeping up the good fight. The place where I'm probably going to be ending up, it is in the northwest or in the southwest. When I would go to Cork, yeah, I would stay at the Clarion at the top of Oliver Plunkett Street. But yeah, that's very near the Savoy. On the other hand, do they want their tourism to go down? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in there. I mean, Ireland, save your country. Every time I get Teresa to play a game, says D. Kenobia, she gets beyond hooked. Yeah, that's true. I'm not entirely sure what that's in reference to, so I'll skip over that. So I can say anything bad about Snidely Whiplash. Miss Martin lives in, look up Mary O'Hara. Oh, I will. Okay. Potato Reverend says, if you're touring the on Talked, I would look into honoring. It is absolutely beautiful. I was there with my dad years ago. It felt like Ireland, if you get me, like untouched by British. It felt sacred. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm thinking that the spelling, they didn't like the Irish there. But I don't know if I've been there. Yeah. Because that's the other thing. When you go to Ireland, I mean, the history is there. You can see what they did to the people. So when people sometimes say, well, why are they, still talking about it? It's like, we've got to still talk about what happened because it is a cautionary tale for today. Oh, hello. Kapla says, Grilla's censored thoughts. Thank you for being here. Archer Collin is telling Potato Revan, from what I've heard, your previously nationalist parties seem to have gone globalist, sadly, and I say that as a Brit. Yeah. I think you're referring to Sinn Féin, which is really odd. Well, from what I understand, Sinn Féin, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, they're worthless. I don't know if y'all have an alternative party over there. I just don't know, but it's very, very hard to get anything done, though, because they do like coalition government. So, all right. Potato Brown says, you're absolutely correct. Sinn Féin are now leftists, so are all the parties except for the small ones. Oh, yeah, read my mind. I have loud and angry things to scream about Sinn Féin, says Potato Revan. Yeah. Well, and this kind of also fits in a little bit with Memorial Day, because yes, Memorial Day is usually we refer to we remember our American ones, but of course, in the Irish, look at all the Irish that lost their lives for Irish independence, and the sad state. Potato Revan and I did a stream about it, about the Civil War that happened after all of that, and the amount of people that gave their lives for Ireland to be free and independent. It's really, really sad. My goodness gracious. Yeah. But, maybe by remembering history, by remembering those people, remembering what is around you, those are a place to start. We kind of got a little bit on this because it was like, let's go and travel around. Like, if you can't go and do a big travel thing, if you can't go to Japan, like Norporeal did, if you can't go on Alaskan cruise, like I just did, just go local. I mean, hell, my sister and I are planning to do more day trips. We did a day trip a few weeks ago. It was fantastic. We went to this fantastic little town, and we're going to go to a museum in a little town sometime this week. So, it's all there. It's all there. Let's see. Look up Shetland Larson, war hero. Okay. I'm related to so many rebels, so many died, said Potato Rev, and lost families. I have stories that break your heart. It feels like now it wasn't worth it. They all died, for nothing at all. Oh boy. Well, that's sad. Yeah, I mean, it makes me sad. Well, especially, I was so distraught when I saw how they were abandoning the faith. They were surrendering the faith, and I knew it was going to portend bad things. And they did. And it did. Okay, are you talking about well, for some reason Leaf Larson came up when I put up Shetland Larson. Is that his nickname? He was a Norwegian sailor. Oh, yeah, there it is. Popularly known as Shetland Larson. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and share this. Yeah. Well, I learned some stuff, Archer, about your country immigration numbers that were quite shocking. Okay, here he is. Shetland Larson was a highly decorated Norwegian soldier. He was arguably the most famous of the men who operated the Shetland bus escape route during the war. He participated as a volunteer on the Finnish side during the Winter War and was a soldier in the defense of Norway following the German invasion. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. He had excellent leadership skills. One of the British officers at the Shetland base described him as one of the most remarkable personalities of the entire Second World War. The Shetland bus, Larson dramatically escaped Norway in the fishing boat, I'm not going to pronounce it, a voyage he recounted in his autobiography. He then joined the Norwegian Naval Independent Unit for the unwieldy cover title better known as a Shetland bus. The unit, which operated under the Special Operations Executive, was, despite its name, initially independent of the Royal Norwegian Navy. Wow. So it wasn't really a bus. It was Shetland bus was a nickname of a clandestine special operations group that made a permanent link between mainland Shetland and Scotland and the German occupied Norway from 1941 till the surrender. Oh, wait. You know what? I've heard about that. Yes, because I saw a movie about people in the Norwegian resistance that they would go up there and sometimes they would get orders from them and stuff. Let's see. Tater Reverend says, talking about Sinn Fein. Oops, I lost him. Let's see. Sinn Fein screamed at elderly priests. Yeah, I know they were awful. They also have attacked, fight people having a mass. They even pushed over a statue of the Holy Mother. Yeah. Especially when you consider the history, the fact that they feel like they can do that and what that means. It's horrendous. Oh, thinking of Anders Larson. I'm sorry for both of our countries, says Potato Revan. To all those looking to say a prayer for the fallen, have a thought for all of the unnamed persons that ensured our future. God abounds. Have a blessed day all. Well, thank you. You know what? That's a very good point for the unnamed people, the people that don't have anybody because they don't know who they are, or they were lost, or their bodies were lost, or all of that. Yeah. Well, they came legally from Ireland. Most of my Irish ancestors, snorted Pupus Gruber, on the human side were from Ulster, specifically County Down. But in true family tradition, they always fought on the losing side. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Ulster. I caught a couple of literals about the British unknown soldier yesterday. Steve Kenobi says, Madam, massive risk of being served by German subs. Yeah. So, don't forget those that lost their lives in the resistance movements. Socialists will be socialists, but they love posing as freedom fighters. Yeah, darn right. Oof. Yeah, what was it? There was a recent movie on Netflix about the Norwegian resistance. And it was like number 14 or something like that was his code name. And they did things, targeted assassinations and the like. But, it was war. Archer Khan says, Greek letters guy, I said they came legally. And if I misspoke, come on, give me a break. Miss Martin muses, there are few videos around about the unknown soldier out version. His tomb in Westminster Abbey is the only one that is forbidden to walk on. Yeah. Though technically they should do it all of them. My great granddad's hand shook. My granddad said when World War II happened, he broke down. He fought World War I, independence, Civil War, and now we'd say he had bad PTSD. Oh, my granddad would get scared if he was in a room. No, he couldn't get out of. Oh. Archer Collins says the old 1960s movie The Heroes of Telemark features Norwegian members of the resistance. Yes. Steve Kenobi says the Doors had a song about the unknown soldier, I believe. Yes. And they have what in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I believe, is underneath the Arch de Triomphe in Paris. So, yeah. And they have honor guards and all of that. Oh dear. Yeah. So, many people. And, I'm not one of those that's well, let's not talk about Americans because that, but, a lot of the people in the chat are not Americans. And I will always say that, let's remember those that have fought and lost their lives in the wars. Potato Ribbon says, I want to go to the Garden of Remembrance, lay flowers at the wall. Oh, yeah. That would be nice. Yeah, or, say a prayer. Let me see. Let's see. What does it say here? Ways to honor Memorial Day. We've already talked about the people that volunteer. To go to cemeteries. Yeah, there's many local events. Some display. Oh, I guess you're supposed to display the American flag at half staff until noon. Oh, and there is a national moment of remembrance at 3 p.m. local time. You can also show your support by volunteering at a cemetery, donating to charities that support military families, or sharing stories online. 10 local events, visit cemeteries, display the American flag, and support veterans. See, that's another way to do it, is support those that we have with us. We all have all kinds of World War II around here, bunkers and the like. That is true. They found crates of old German ammo under my hiking area a few years back, buried weapons, etc. Well, hopefully not directly underneath where you were. My goodness. Oh dear. Thank you, Stieg. Half staff sounds like a male horn star who's getting too old to do his job properly. Well, maybe you could make that in one of our D&D games, one of the names, because we have the full staff. Yes, directly underneath, right under the path. Well, I'm glad you're not blown into a million bits. Not blown into a million bits. But I recall being at Verdun in France, World War I, and they were still warning people to not stray from the path, and there's a possibility of ammunition. Archer Collins says we only really have a remembrance here in the UK with a 2-minute silence both on Armistice Day 11/11 and Remembrance Sunday. Ah, yes. Oh dear, Germans love a good hike. Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, I mean, what happened to the Norwegians and all that during the war and being occupied? Well, all places that were occupied. And of course, it was very strategic because Norway being there on the water and stuff for the occupation and the like. Yeah. Oof. Well, when I think about World War II was such a collaborative thing going on. It was really something special. Sweden had lots of play. Well, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, Sweden, they screwed you. Oh, yeah. I didn't even really know too much about it until you let me know. Sonora Poopas Cooper says a friend of mine and his wife visited Verdun a few years ago. It made quite the impression on them. Yes. Lest we forget World War One. Oh my gosh. It made, yes. It was that trench warfare. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I talked about the American Civil War, the 54th, for several reasons. They are just so moving to me because they were so proud to be American, if you know what I mean. And when you see what they're trying to do today to rewrite history, to me, it's very disrespectful to those that gave their lives, especially in the Civil War. And when they were put on the American uniform, the 54th, and flew the American flag and died for the American flag, they guarded the American flag. Very disrespectful what's going on. Verdun was where Blackadder and Baldric died. Oh. Potato Reverend says, my ex was from the Netherlands. She said metal detectors find shrapnel everywhere. Her gran used to joke when I was little. For some reason, she ate a lot of German food. Wonder what happened. She was 3 during World War III. Two, rather. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. In fact, says Archer Collin, I remember half staff is how we generally see staffs used in the movies. Think Robin Hood and Little John on the Bridge. Sean Sue, hello. My father was in the U.S. Navy during World War II, and my grandfathers were in World War I. Yeah. Wow. Speaking of, Sweden did supply a lot of iron ore to Germany in World War II. Yeah, they gave a lot of aid and comfort. My father was in the U.S. Navy. Yeah. My dad, he was of the Vietnam era. My grandfather was in World War II. Not sure about World War One. Definitely the Civil War. I've got history in the Civil War. I actually have an artifact from an ancestor that fought in the American Civil War. I have his powder horn, and he had actually sketched like army scenes, like camp life scenes, into his horn, and it also says the number of the regiments and all of that. So very, very beautiful things. Greetings and happy Memorial Day, says Sean Sue. Yes, happy Memorial Day to all of you. Let us remember Um, so yeah, I really like the idea. Totally forgot about honoring the unknown soldier. My family wasn't here, says Hyunsu, during the Civil War. Yeah, a lot of people weren't. Yes, yeah, they were not. Came came over during Great Immigration. Of course, immigration came through Ellis Island, but it also came through Galveston in Texas, and of course, not to forget the West Coast. So, in any case, okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to completely ruin my voice after my triumphant return. So, I want to thank everyone that showed up. We had Sean Seuss, North Pips Cooper, Steve Kenobi, Archer Collins. We had Greek letters guy, Snortopupus Grubber, Potato Revan, Archer Collin. I think I already said DJ Ronnie G, Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Let me see. We had Norporeal Life Form, Salty Traveling Sea, Stephen Ransom. If I missed anyone, it is not intentional. Gap After Dark. We had Rachel Percy Art and many others. So, like, once again, if I missed anyone, it's not intentional that things jump around. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank a veteran if they are still alive and with us. And of course, remember, thank you for the stream, says Sean Sue. Glad I made it live this time. Well, I'm glad you're here. Well, I've been on hiatus while I've been recovering. Happy Memorial Day. Here's to all those who died in uniform and for the course of freedom. If not for them, we would not be here. Amen. Good talk. Thank you. Thank you. You are to call for the. I got orders for Red Dead talk in a few. Yes, I know we got to talk about Red Dead. We will, I promise. Okay, well, thank you. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain to remember the fallen.